Alright guys, let's go over it. What is the best way to level up in Diablo 4 for Season 2 as things have changed up? So starting right off, there are a few different methods that you can do. You can get power leveled by a friend, or you could do blood harvest. Those are the two best options in the game, and we're going to go ahead and go into both routes. So the first route is actually the best, which is having someone power level you. And if you're thinking, well, I don't have any friends, well, it's time to go learn how to make friends. So the most important tool that you can have at your disposal is Discord. There's lots of different Diablo groups, and there is an official Diablo 4 Sanctuary Discord. You just go ahead and go to the Discord, just Google Diablo official Sanctuary Discord. You open it up, and it'll ask if you're playing hardcore, softcore, season, eternal. Just select whatever one, and then you'll see these different channels that pop up. So over on the screen, let's go ahead and make this a little bit bigger so you guys can actually read it. So you'll see over here, there is softcore season 2. Softcore meaning, well, you're not playing hardcore. And then, of course, season meaning non-eternal. So make sure you're asking in the right group. So there are going to be tons of different people trying to be carried for different things. Some people are just looking to group up, and you can see in the section that I have screenshot over here, it says SC LFG start campaign. So that's what the whole text is. Softcore meaning softcore, LFG means looking for a group, and you're basically starting the campaign. But everyone just basically posts, hey, power level me and I'll power level you. So basically, if you already have another character, you can then power level them and they will power level you. So you have to decide who's doing what first, but just keep that in mind, that you will also have to power level them back. Now, if you don't have another character, that's fine. There are still people that are looking for groups, and it is way more efficient in Diablo in general to always play with a group because it's just going to be simply faster. Now, if you're playing with a group and you feel like they kind of suck, just say, hey, GG's, I gotta go, and then find a new group. There are groups that are just simply slow at the game, and that happens. So just don't be rude. Just say, hey, GG's, I played for a little bit, and then find another group that you feel like can keep up with you. Because there are times when one player is just super slow on resetting dungeons or whatever the case is. So this is the best tool. You can see people are looking for leech. So you can see at the very bottom it says LFG leech XP from level 38 to 60, and they're going to exchange Duriel mats. So basically they're offering you Duriel mats and they want to be power leveled. Sometimes people just want power level for power level. Sometimes you can use gold if you already have a bunch of gold laying around from another character and you're like, well, I don't really need it. People will power level you for gold as well. So use this tool. It is by far one of the best things to do in the entire game in terms of leveling. But I know that this method might be kind of strange, and some people are like, well, what is the other method? I don't have friends, or I don't want to message people on Discord that I don't know. I get it. That's totally fine. So the best way to actually level up, if you don't want to play with people, is to do the blood harvest. You can see people are LFG blood harvest rituals. This is the best way to actually level up. So you just go into these green areas. Let me go ahead and actually give you guys gameplay of that, because I think that that is more important. So you can see I was making another character. I did both methods this season, and obviously, yes, partying up with a group is way faster. So in the very beginning, you'll see that there's a green marker on a quest. It'll tell you to go to a certain area. It only takes a few minutes, and you'll go to Kedbaru, and you'll go ahead and start your vampire quest. Now, this is only for seasons, but the whole point of the video is how to level up in Season 2. So make sure when you make a character, you select seasons. There's a couple dialogue things, but you want to do this as quickly as possible, and this is still a great method if you already have another character and you already have a bunch of potent blood ready to go. You can see I have my potent blood. So you'll do like a quest line. It takes just literally 5 minutes to do, and then you're going to unlock your first vampiric power, which will be Undying. It's a really good one just in general, and you want to actually level up all of your vampiric powers. One thing that you can do just as a quick tip and trick if you want to level up your powers much faster, because how it works is you go to this area on the map that has these little green markers, you kill the new vampire monsters, and they'll drop potent blood, and you use this to upgrade your abilities. How it works is it's kind of like a random slot machine, and you will start unlocking a bunch of skills. This is really critical because what you're trying to unlock as quickly as possible is a skill called Hemomancy. You're going to also need to get your vampiric powers allocated to where you can actually equip them with the inventory system. There's a dedicated video. I'll link it down below that explains it in more detail because it is kind of extensive, but basically you just need to have divinity as well as all these little things at the top. You can see there's a skull, there's a cup, and there's a little hat. So you have to reach these different thresholds to actually equip some of these vampiric powers. It requires, think of it kind of like strength, dexterity, and intelligence. It requires your gear to actually have that allocated. And to get these, you just go to the vampire area that's marked in green on the map. This will always be up. It's kind of like a hell tide if you've played in the previous seasons. It's like a hell tide, but it's always up 24/7, but the locations may move. So you can see over here, I'm just leveling up a bunch of my different skills here, and you want to get Hemomancy. I'll show you why in a moment. It is just by a long shot, way better than anything. Also, Moonrise is a great one as well, but the skill Hemomancy will let you just absolutely dominate content. So while you're also in this area, I'll go fast forward to more gameplay because I'm just leveling up all of my points, and it just takes a while. So what you can do is you can click on the point, and then you can hit escape, and you can keep on refreshing the window, and it's going to randomize whatever skill that you get in terms of upgrades. So you can see I'm doing the exact same thing that I'm talking about, but what we're going to try to do is focus in on doing these whispers. So there's a bunch of these little quests that you can do. They're marked in pink, and you just keep on doing them. Make sure though, if you are on a brand new account or you've never played this game before, you want to complete Renown. There's a bunch of different like quests that you can do, and sometimes you can do this as you're progressing, whether it is getting some of the Lilith statues, which we'll talk about more in a moment, but you'll see that on the map there are like these little statues and other things that you can do to complete what's called the Renown. You're going to want to do that because it's going to access you more skill points as well as more paragon points towards the end of the game. But you can see in the very beginning, well, we're going to need to go ahead and just kind of play until we get the items that have the correct vampiric stats so we can actually use them, and you can use all of your vampiric stats early on. Don't worry about saving them. You'll get so many that it doesn't matter. So you can see I'm just kind of putting in my skill points, but the most important thing is showing you guys how powerful Hemomancy is once you get that equipped. I'm literally level 6 here, and in a moment I'll show you guys exactly what it looks like for the gameplay. So I think it's like an 18 over here, somewhere around here. So look at this. I am leveling up super fast by just getting Hemomancy. This is solo. This is not in a group, but obviously, yes, getting carried through the capstone is absolutely the fastest way. But you can see I'm level 6, and watch my XP and watch how fast we actually eliminate like all the monsters on the screen. Every 4 seconds, we get this ability that just basically one-shots everything. Look at that. Like every 4 seconds, unless it's an elite. Like elite, sometimes it'll take a little bit longer. But yeah, every 4 seconds, we just kind of wait, group up a bunch of enemies, attack once, and it kind of clears up everything. You'll see some of these areas will have little quests. It'll be like free these people that are like untie them. They're in cages. You have to light these little things on fire. You have maybe just kill X amount of monsters. There's a lot of stuff here. Look at that. I'm just one-shotting things consistently. Again, Hemomancy is the key thing to get ASAP. And again, you're going to be doing the Vampiric questline to unlock this as quickly as possible. But if it is your first character, you do want to focus in on Renown early, because later you want to spend most of your time leveling up in Nightmare Dungeons. So this is doing all the strongholds, all the side quests. But if it is your first character, you're going to have to do the campaign first. That is mandatory. But obviously, yes, skip the campaign if you've already done it. And the reason why is because you'll get more Paragon points. That's the most important thing. I will also leave this down below in the pinned comment. This website is called d4builds.gg, and you just click where it says interactive map, and it'll show you the entire map. And one thing that you want to focus in on while you're leveling is you do want to eventually unlock maybe some aspects. Like, for example, I'm playing a Twisting Blades rogue here in the gameplay. Over here, I know in Jalal's Vigil, we will get the Twisting Blades aspect. A lot of people are also playing the Sorceress this season. The Ball Lightning aspect does not actually drop from a dungeon. So if you do the dungeons, you could basically get at the end of the dungeon, you get a guaranteed 100% chance to unlock the aspect. So you could actually craft a legendary power on your character, and this is going to significantly increase your speed because you have a power that you actually want to use. This is very vital, and this also goes with some survivability. So one of the other ones that is quite popular is getting the aspect of disobedience. There are tons of different ones that you can unlock, but there's Umbra over here, but it will always give you the lowest value. So depending on the class you play, you may want to look at which things that you may want to unlock first, as again, these are very important. The two most important ones are going to be aspect of disobedience, and then any other like ability that your character can use. Even if you don't like the ability, sometimes just having the aspect will significantly increase your leveling process. So you basically want to just keep on doing this up until you get to the point where you can do the next nightmare dungeons, which is going to be in World Tier 3 and 4. But on top of that, the Blood Harvest area is still one of the best areas just to level up in general. And it's also going to give you the better chance at getting legendaries than really any other content, because some of these chests are going to be great, and you're going to have to level up your vampiric abilities anyways. So you might as well do it, unless you're at like 8,000 plus potent blood and then you're making a new character. Every new character that you do make, though, in Season 2, you still have to unlock all of the vampiric powers. But you can see I'm doing it right now, where you're just going around doing all of the different little quests here in the Grim Favors, and it does move. Every hour, it will move, and if you need to complete One other thing that I do want to mention that is really good for Grim Favors, doing the bosses in the PvP areas is very valuable. All you need to do is kill the PvP boss, and if there's another person that kills you and then they kill the boss right after it, you both get the credit. So don't worry if someone's being mean and they're just like eliminating people in World Tier 1, which it's very rare, but it may happen. So when the boss dies in PvP, you can actually fill up your Grim Favors really fast and turn them in at the Tree of Whispers. They're going to be getting a cash, and it's going to give you a bunch of gold and stuff. So all you need to do is pick up literally one seed, and then you turn it in, and killing the boss yields 5 out of 10 of the Grim Favors, and then turning in rewards you with 3. So you get 8 out of the 10 in legitimately just a few minutes. It's probably one of the fastest ways to complete your Grim Favors, and Grim Favors are great for not only giving you XP, so you can reroll your gold to reroll your pieces of gear later on, but it also does give you some XP. So it's kind of like a really awesome way for you to get kind of 2 different things at once. Obviously, as you progress, you'll get better rewards, but it is a way also to get some of the malignant materials to actually do Varshan, which is one of the uber bosses towards the end of the game. But once you're 3 and 4, you'll get much better results as you kind of progress and level up in the game. So your main goal, again, while you are leveling up in the earlier stages, is get that potent blood so you can upgrade your vampiric powers, and then also doing your renown. Now, once you are able to complete the capstone and go to World Tier 3 and 4, your main focus should be Nightmare Dungeons. And the reason why you have to do Nightmare Dungeons is kind of soon as you can, especially in World Tier 4, because in World Tier 3, the Glyph XP is absolutely terrible. But once you are in World Tier 4, you do want to just focus in on Nightmare Dungeons. And the reason why is because it's going to award you with Glyph XP, which that's the only way you can upgrade your glyphs in the game, is doing the glyphs. So you can see I'm about to turn in, I've completed all mine, and you just keep on doing this again and again in the Vampiric area. It is by far the best. Do it with a group if you can. Again, use the Diablo Sanctuary Discord. It's your greatest tool. But on top of that, if there's any events going on, World Boss spawns in, but if you're level 10 or 11 here, the World Boss might kind of roll you, but there are sometimes other people there that are helping a friend, and they'll just one-shot the World Boss, basically. At this point, a lot of people are so strong that they can definitely do it, but if you're in World Tier 1, sometimes you get a bunch of people that are all trying to leech, and then no one can complete it because there's too many leechers. But at the end of the day, yeah, you definitely want to do your renown as quickly as possible because it's going to be less painful to do it later. Because if you're doing it later, well, you're kind of missing out on a bunch of glyph XP because you need to level up your glyphs, and that's the most important thing towards the end of the game. And also, Nightmare Dungeons are the greatest source of your actual XP in the game. It gives you the best XP, and it's the only way to level up glyphs. So that's going to wrap it up. So again, to kind of re-summarize everything, keep on going to the Blood Harvest areas, or get a power level. Again, use the Diablo Sanctuary Discord. Go here and complete the Vampiric questline, as you may want certain abilities, and it's going to require you to actually kill a bunch of the different vampires. And there's a little quest board, and it unlocks skills. Some skills cannot be unlocked by just doing the potent blood mechanic. You actually have to kill a bunch of the different vampires, and eventually these powers will unlock. In some builds, depending on the build that you're playing, you may want a certain power. But if you've already gotten all the powers that you want, you're like, I don't want any of the other ones, like Metamorphosis comes towards the end. If you don't need that in your build, then you can stop doing the Vampire questline, but it's literally 30 minutes to do the entirety of it. You can complete the whole thing by the time you're level 25, and it is kind of cool because it's fully voice acted, and it's basically part of the new season anyways. So you do that, and then once you reach level 40, I would recommend you guys to do the capstone at about 40 if you are doing it solo. Obviously, if you're getting power level by a friend, then that doesn't really matter. And the reason why level 40 is because once you are level 40, you can actually equip sacred pieces of gear, and then if you want to do the capstone at World Tier 4 to unlock it, about level 60 is a good number, because again, even if you get items, you will not be able to equip them if you get them too early. But that's going to basically wrap it up, and again, just keep on slamming out Nightmare Dungeons again, and you will eventually reach level 100. So that's going to go ahead and wrap it up. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video and learned something new. If there's any questions, let me know down below. And if you're new here, hit subscribe, turn that bell if you want to see more content, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.